Facebook CEO Sheryl Sandberg and Twitter boss Jack Dorsey become the latest tech executives to get a grilling from Congress over foreign manipulation Tuesday, where angry Republicans also probed them on President Trump's charges of bias. The pair were set before the Senate Intelligence Committee as Russian election meddling continues to loom over Congress with the midterms just 2 months away. President Trump has called special counsel Robert Mueller's probe a witch hunt, but the intelligence community has concluded that the Kremlin orchestrated efforts to manipulate social media platforms to try to sway the electorate and sow divisions. Google, the subject of recent complaints by Trump about supposed anti-conservative bias in search programs, won't be represented. Trump upped his criticism of social media firms, accusing them of interfering in both the 2016 and 2018 elections. "I think they already have," he told the Daily Caller in an interview published Wednesday. He then switched to 2016, where special counsel Robert Mueller has been probing Russian interference to harm Democrat Hillary Clinton and boost Trump. He continued, "Without providing any concrete evidence, maybe I did a better job because I'm good with the Twitter and I'm good at social media, but the truth is they were all on Hillary Clinton's side. And if you look at what was going on with Facebook and with Google and all of it, they were very much on her side," Trump said. The committee also invited parent company Alphabet CEO for its hearing, but the firm was only willing to send a lower-level executive. Alphabet wanted to send Chief Legal Officer Kent Walker instead. It released his prepared testimony, even though he isn't coming. Google has denied manipulating its search functions with any sort of political bias. The execs are defending their companies against lawmakers who say they aren't doing enough to combat continuing foreign efforts to influence American politics. Sandberg, who will testify alongside Dorsey, will acknowledge to the Senate Intelligence Committee that the company was too slow to respond to Russian efforts to interfere in the 2016 U.S. election and American society, but insisted is doing better. Dorsey, in prepared testimony for a House committee, pushes back on the allegations of bias. "Let me be clear about one important and foundational fact. Twitter does not use political ideology to make any decisions, whether related to ranking content on our service or how we enforce our rules," he plans to say. "Share this article. We believe strongly in being impartial, and we strive to enforce our rules impartially. We do not shadow-ban anyone based on political ideology. In fact, from a simple business perspective, and to serve the public conversation, Twitter is incentivized to keep all voices on the platform," he will tell the Energy and Commerce Committee. "We've removed hundreds of pages and accounts involved in coordinated inauthentic behavior, meaning they misled others about who they were and what they were doing," Sandberg said in written testimony released on Tuesday. Facebook, Twitter and other technology firms have been on the defensive for many months over political influence activity on their sites as well as concerns over user privacy. Their executives have traveled to Washington several times to testify in Congress, including 10 hours of questioning of Facebook chief executive Mark Zuckerberg over 2 days in April. The Senate Intelligence Committee has been looking into Russian efforts to influence public opinion throughout President Donald Trump's presidency after U.S. intelligence agencies concluded that entities backed by the Kremlin had sought to boost his chances of winning the White House in 2016. Moscow denies involvement, and Trump, backed by some of his fellow Republicans in Congress, has repeatedly dismissed investigations of the issue as a partisan witch hunter hoax. Some Republicans have also charged social media companies with bias against Trump and other conservatives. Twitter's Dorsey was to follow his Senate testimony on Wednesday morning with an appearance at an afternoon hearing looking at that issue in the House of Representatives. Dorsey will tell the House Energy and Commerce Committee that Twitter does not use political ideology to make any decisions, according to written testimony also made public on Tuesday. Trump faulted Twitter on July 26 without citing any evidence for limiting the visibility of prominent Republicans through a practice known as shadow banning. Last week, Trump accused Google's search engine of promoting negative news articles and hiding fair media coverage of him, vowing to address the situation without providing evidence or giving details of action he might take. Republicans control majorities in both the Senate and House, but the House's approach to the election issue has been far more partisan than in the Senate. In the Senate, both the Republican Intelligence Committee Chairman, Richard Burr, and Democratic Vice Chairman, Mark Warner, said they called Wednesday's hearing to press the social media companies to do more. They also asked Alphabet Incorporated's Google to send a top executive to testify, but declined its offer to dispatch Chief Legal Officer Kent Walker rather than Alphabet Chief Executive Larry Page, saying it wanted a top corporate decision-maker. Google did release written testimony from Walker ahead of the hearing, even though he was not expected to appear. Like Sandberg, Walker said in his statement that the company was taking the issue of foreign interference in politics very seriously. Reporting by Patricia Zengel, editing by Chris Sanders and Lisa Shoemaker.